अपनी प्रमुख वक्ता जो हमारे स्कूल की सबसे सीनियर टीचर भी है और काफ़ी मतलब बहुत समृद्ध भी है, उनको मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ, श्रीमती रश्मि सक्सेना मैम। इनका विषय है कि सभी के लिए समावेशी शिक्षा और समान शिक्षा कैसे लागू हो और क्या हो, उसको आज हम सभी को समझाएंगे मैम। मैम रश्मि मैम।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I deem it a great privilege that I have been given this opportunity to highlight some of the points of this National Education Policy 2020. I have prepared my PPT and I will try my level best to highlight some of the factors and points of this topic. So I have selected the theme. I have written something on the inclusive and equitable education, the education for all. Okay. Uh, is the screen visible?
यस मैम, यस मैम, दिख
Okay.
रहा है।
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Okay. So today we are just going to discuss on the National Education Policy 2020. Uh, as we know that this National Education Policy 2020, which was approved by the Union Cabinet of India on 29 July 2020, outlines the vision of India's new education system. So there is going to be a drastic change in the new education system, which has been approved on 29 July last year. The National Education Policy 2020 has conveyed the structural change in the education system, which aims to make India the global knowledge superpower and ensuring equity and inclusion in this policy. The policy is designed to avoid segregation and isolation of ethnic and linguistic minorities, those with disabilities, and also those who face learning difficulties due to language barriers are at the risk of educational exclusion. Means the policy is designed to avoid segregation and isolation of ethnic and linguistic minorities. Means on the basis of ethnic, that basic, indigenous, religious, on this basis and on the basis of linguistic minorities, no means no one will be segregated. All the children on the basis of this, they will not be excluded from the education. They will be included in this. So the theme for my topic is inclusive and equitable education, that is education for all the children equally. What is meant by inclusive education? First of all, we should focus that what do we mean by inclusive education? Inclusion in education refers to a model wherein students with special needs spend most or all of their time with non-special needs students. Means in the classroom, in the society, many children used to be there who need special attention, special needs, and most of their time they are supposed to spend with non-special need students. So there will be inclusion, they will be included, they will be given the opportunity to uh, to learn or to get education with all the students. It means equally. Inclusive education allows students of all backgrounds to learn and grow side by side to the benefit of all. Means there will be no discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, language, region, on anything. There will not be any discrimination with the students, and all the students will be given the equal opportunity to learn, to grow equally. NEP aims to ensure equity and inclusion in and through education by addressing all forms of exclusion and marginalization, disparity, and inequality in education access. Means equal importance will be given to all the students, to all the religions, to all the classes of the society, and there will be no disparity, no unfair treatment will be there on with the students, with the children. All will be given the equal opportunities. This policy affirms that bridging the social category gaps, there used to be different classes and the gaps on the basis of their financial uh, categories and social categories, but all will be ignored, and they will the gaps will be bridged, will be filled, and the equal access to the education will be provided to all the students, to all the children of the society. They will be given equal participation in all the activities, and the learning outcomes in school education will continue to be one of the major goals of all education sector development programs. Now let's focus on the purpose of inclusive education. That what is the purpose behind this theory? Like the goal of an inclusive education system is to provide all the students with the most appropriate learning environments. Means all the students without any disparity or discrimination, equal opportunities will be provided, equal or appropriate learning environment. As we have been talking, that a proper environment, learning environment will be made available to all the students so that they can achieve the learning outcomes which is expected from each and every child of the society, and the opportunities for them to best achieve their potential. As per their potential, they should be able to achieve the success. All the children can learn and reach their full potential by the given opportunities, and the effective teaching should take place. The teachers are to be professional, very, very professional. And now also they are there, but now the main focus will be that they are completely, fully professional in their profession of this teaching. And they should be able to make the proper or appropriate use of the resources in the present time. The steps to be taken for effective inclusive education. What are the measures? What are the steps we are supposed to take, which has been described in this national education policy for this inclusive education? For an effective inclusive education, relationship with the child is essential. This is very, very true, that the teacher should be able to make or develop the affinity with the students, means the close relationship with the child, with the student. That closeness must be there. Then only the child will feel secured and friendly and will feel free to interact with the teacher. To attain the success, one more point is there, very, very important, that the most important factor is the instructions. It is expected from a professional teacher that the instructions which are being imparted to the students, they must be very, very clear to the students, because the success depends on the given instructions. If the instructions are clear to the child, he or she is sure to achieve the success. In most of the cases of failure, this is one of the reasons that the instructions are ambiguous. They are not clear. The child get confused what to do, what not to do, how to do. Then this is one of the reasons we can say of the failure. So when the teacher is professional, trained, then they will take care of all these things to develop the affinity, to give the instructions clearly, and to make the child to follow the instructions in the correct way, so that they can achieve success by avoiding the failure. Now let's see the inclusion. I hope I'm clear up to here, dear teachers. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you. Inclusion with disability, like like this disability also is found in the classroom, but we have to include, we have to develop that feeling that we have to include, we have to accept the disability in the classroom. Like inclusive education, the special attention should be given to the disabled children. We do not have to segregate them. We have to involve them in the normal classroom. We have to provide them with the equal opportunities. We never have to make them feel that they are different. No, they are also equally able children. So we have to include them without any uh, disparity. It should be given the attention that who will be. Yeah, these 3 points are very, very clear for every teacher, that we have to focus that who will be given the inclusive education, who are the children, who are the students who need this special attention in the class, that we have to find out. For that, the teacher has to develop the extra ability to find out, to make out that who are the children who need special attention of the teacher, and why he or she needs it, why he or she should be given this special attention. So the teacher has to be very, very perfect and trained to find out that who should be given and why should be given. And then very important, that how this education should be imparted, should be given to these special or disabled children, without making them feel it is. They should be made comfortable. They should be made comfortable in the classroom, and their needs are also fulfilled. So we have to take care of who, why, and how. So this has been included in this national education policy. And next is devices. Like devices play an important role in providing inclusive education. And in the present time also, these devices are playing a very important role. Without these modern devices, the classroom does not seem to be very lively. So as when we know that different kinds of children are there, their needs are different. Some children may be hearing impaired or visually impaired. So we have to make them feel that they are comfortable, and we have to make their devices available so that they can make the proper use of the devices which are required for the hearing impaired children and for the visually impaired children. So when these devices are provided to them in the school, then they would be able to learn properly without any difficulty. So that is also very, very important, and this also has been included in this policy. In the absence of the required devices, the child naturally may lose interest in the classroom activities. When we feel that the child is not able to hear properly, there is a difference in hearing and listening, that we all know that hearing is a natural process and listening is then when we put proper bit efforts to listen and which draws the attention of the student also. So when the child is comfortable with the hearing impaired and visually impaired, then naturally the classroom is going to be lively and interactive and fruitful also. Then now we should see the equitable education. What does it mean by equitable education? That we know that education is a continuous process, as we all know, that it does not stop at one place, and we cannot say that it is perfect and it's over now. It is a continuous process. Every now and then we learn also, and it goes on also. So the school is the right place to feel the pulse of education. So the teachers, we all are responsible to make the environment of the school at a proper place where the child must be able to learn as per his or her potential. The school is embedded in the mind of students, means whatever is taught in the school or learned at the school, whatever instructions are given by the teachers to the students, that that remains imprinted in the mind of students. So the teachers also have to be very, very careful that while teaching and exchanging the thoughts during the teaching and learning process, because the school will remain embedded, imprinted in the minds of students. So always the positive side, the positive aspect, positive ideas, positivity should be imprinted in the mind of students. So we have to create such kind of atmosphere in the school. All the children, irrespective of their gender, should be given the equal opportunity to receive education. That we should not be biased, we should not be prejudiced, that we should not give importance to any particular gender. Means all the three genders should be given proper or equal opportunity. Gender biasness need to change the mindset. And this is the mindset of we people sometimes, that we get biased towards the genders, that the boys are better or the girls are better or the transgenders, they should be included or not. And we have to change our mindset. We have to include them also without any discrimination. To achieve the goal of inclusive and equitable education, we have to change our mindset, certainly. We have to be broad minded. We have to think globally. And we have to develop that attitude to include everyone in our system. There should be equal ratio of girls and boys in the class. It is considered, yes, means the proper ratio should be there without any biasness. Or still, I feel that in remote areas, the girls are not given the proper opportunities to go to school. But now, as per the new national education policy, the girls and boys will be given the equal opportunity to join the class. It is considered that women use the right side of brain. This is just a like a, what to say, belief. A right side of brain more which claims creativity and intuition. On the other hand, the boys are considered to use the left side of brain more with analytical power. But I feel that this is just a belief only. But now the girls are not less than anybody. They are also coming forward in every area, in each area of present time. So there should be a balanced diversity in the system. We should be able to accept the diversity in the system. We should not be without any biasness. We have to accept the balance. Both the genders should be provided with equal opportunities in every activity. Not only the both, like transgenders also now should be provided with the equal opportunities in every activity. As the Upanishad says, that only from fullness can be achieved. When we are fully equipped, then only we teachers will be able to impart to the students. So first we have to train ourselves, we have to change our mindset, then only we can do justice to our profession. So there must be diversity in thinking. Each child needs to be taught differently. Means this we have to keep in mind, that there will be different ways of teaching to each and every child in the classroom. Means all the children, they are not alike. Their way of grasping used to be different. So this is not the fault of the student that he or she is not able to understand the teacher. This is the fault of the teacher. One way we can say that the teacher has to come down to the level of the child to understand his or her requirement, and then we have to talk in as per the need of that particular child. and we have to make them understand. Then variety of strategies should be implemented to meet the challenge. Means the same kind of strategies which we used to apply. And I hope that we are doing it also in day-to-day classroom teaching learning process. That the same kind of strategy cannot be useful, will not be useful, cannot be implemented also to face the challenge of the present day's children's need, because each child's need used to be different. So we have to apply different kind of strategies to meet the needs of the different kinds of children. Better and different infrastructure should be made available for the children. Means the infrastructure also plays a very important role. So means different kind of infrastructure means the facilities should be provided or will be provided to the students in future as per the national education policy. Then cultural diversity used to be there, cultural diversity, and we have to accept it. We have to give the equal weightage to the cultural diversity of the society. We have to accept, we have to give weightage the variety of food, society wise, festivals, the importance of festivals, languages. We have to show the respect to the variety of food, festivals, language, etc. So many things used to be there, should be taken care of. Then, sense of belongingness has to be developed among the students. This is very important, the sense of belongingness. Until or unless this sense of belongingness is there, we will not feel attached to any kind of system. So we have to, first of all, we teachers have to develop the feeling or the sense of belongingness to the institution, to this system, to the education, to our profession. And the same thing we have to develop, we have to encourage the students to develop the belongingness among the students also. In my class also, every time I also used to insist the children that you have to take care of the furniture, all the belongings of your classroom, of your seats, everything that which you are using in the classroom, because it all belongs to us. It all belongs to you only. It is yours only. So that the feeling of belongingness should be there, or we have to develop it. Then, to meet the aim of inclusive and equitable education, curriculum, which is going to be very, very important, should be demand driven. It should not be same. As per the demand, it should be prepared for according to the need or demand of the students. So this point also has been included in national education policy. For each child, education should be need-based and flexible. So now we see that when we go through this NEP, that there a lot of choice has been given to the students in the form of combination of subjects. As far as I know, that the combination, like the student who is studying science, a science student can go for or can opt for one or two subjects of arts or humanities also as per his choice, because it's not necessary that whoever is studying in class 12 with science will continue his career with science only. He may do something, or he may continue his career in the subject of humanities also. So that choice will be there as per his need, and the flexibility will be there. And it's very lengthy, it's very when we read it thoroughly, then we will come to know about it, that the flexibility is there as per the need and the interest of the child, and various kinds of certificates, diplomas are also have been included in this. Next is to enhance the creativity of the children. Pair work and group work should be encouraged, as we are focusing on the experiential learning. So for this, we have to develop the creativity among the students. And the creativity can be developed when we provide the opportunity to interact with the peer members. So we have to provide the opportunity for pair work and group discussion or group works, so that they will be encouraged to develop their creativity with the new ideas every time. Then retention policy is to be removed. Paradigms about the genders are to be modified with the need of time, as we have already discussed on this. We have to change with the time. Now, let's see the empowerment of women. This also has been given too much of importance in NEP. Like, the women should be given the equal opportunity to get empowered to face the challenges of this world. Equal opportunities should be made available to the girl students, especially to the girl students, as we see in our country that the girls is still in some areas the girls are not given the proper opportunities or attention. So the equal opportunities will be provided to girls and boys to them. Their empowerment should be ensured, that they are being empowered in literacy, in education, in other areas also. The female teachers also should feel secured, as they should be offered good salary. Proper and required trainings should be given to them to improve the standard of teaching, because everybody, the teacher, they have to meet the standard of teaching. All the teachers throughout the country, they have to meet that equal standard of teaching. So time to time they will be offered the trainings, and it will be compulsory for all the teachers to be well acquainted with the trainings. The media should play the significant role, showing the women empowered not as a weak object of society, because to show the women as the weaker section, the media should play the significant role, and they should not be given the right to show the women as only an object, a weak object of the society, as they are also equally empowered in the present scenario. They must be provided such an environment that they should feel high esteemed. They also feel great, self-respected. When we feel self-respected, when we develop the respect for ourselves, especially the women, then only there will be a change in the environment. Once the mother is taught or feels high esteemed, self-respected, the whole family, the whole society, and the whole nation can be improved. So now NEP's biggest effort is to bring gender sensitivity as an integral part of curriculum, and Gender Inclusion Fund to be raised up to class 12, which covers all the socio-economically disadvantaged groups and also the transgenders. So with this, I would like to wind up here itself. I hope to some extent I could make it clear. Thank you, teachers. Anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक यू सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम। मैम ने बहुत ही अच्छे से नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा के अंतर्गत समावेशी शिक्षा को बहुत ही शानदार तरीके से समझाया, और मुझे पूरा उम्मीद ही नहीं बल्कि विश्वास भी है कि हम सभी को समावेशी शिक्षा बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आया, उसकी भूमिका, उसमें अपनी शिक्षण पद्धतियों में हमें क्या क्या परिवर्तन करना है, क्या क्या बदलाव लाना है, कैसे बच्चों के साथ व्यवहार करना है, कैसे अपने क्लासरूम में रखना है, मतलब बहुत अच्छे से मैम ने बताया। अब दूसरी बात मैं ये कहूंगी कि कार्यशाला में होता है, एक सेशन चलता है इसी के समानांतर प्रश्नोत्तर का। मैं अपने शिक्षक साथियों से अनुरोध करूंगी कि यदि कहीं किसी को कोई बात, कोई सवाल मन में हो, उस पर मैम को मैं फिर से आमंत्रित करूंगी। मैम उसके